Blogtalkradio.
So, one can say this is not aimed at anybody, this is just aimed at myself, thinking, where do I need to go myself? And the reason why I'm probably saying this, because I didn't know this was going to be on the board. I didn't know that one would be talking about this. Is anybody else in your neck of the woods? Are you going through what I'm going through? Maybe not deciding to do things that we should let go. We should move on. We should enhance the different energy within us. Maybe that's what's happening. I can only send out feelers there, for I've never felt like this way before. Never been confused about doing a show. Never been confused about putting one on, really. Been chomping at the bit, actually. And I see people in the chat room are saying that they are struggling with questions about themselves. Yes, because winter, what is winter time? I had it explained for me by the Count of 12 a while ago. They said, dear one, it is about going within and hibernating, surrendering to the winter, and it kind of building up your energy that you've let go in the spring and the summer and the autumn. There's no coincidence why nature has seasons, and the dying season is the winter, where everything comes off, is burnt, then reborn in the spring. And this is always the same for human beings. Even though now a lot of people are trying to get 25 hours out of 24 hours and get another 2 days a month out of the month, and maybe another month out of a year, you cannot do that, beloveds. There is a time for everything. As you may say, in God's time, in a spiritual time when you all become awakened. For the reason why we've said this tonight is this. The reason why we've allowed our partner to go through his ranting and raving is to say and to see if anybody else agrees with what you're listening to and what you're hearing. If this so, let us know. For we know, and we've overheard of other people, we see the vibration upon Mother Earth at the moment. It is still asleep. It is still changing from the winter solstice. It is still getting ready for what you may call soon the spring. The changing of the energy, the changing of the guard, in fact, when you become more awakened to the potential of who you are. And this is why we come today in this manner. Yes, he's a little bit confused about what was happening. He was about to pull the plug on the radio show. But we said, no, this is how other people are thinking. Maybe they haven't got the right words to describe it, and you haven't got the right words, but you had the right energy. You understood what it was all about. You are understanding the energy changes, it fluctuates through the day, and to be in total control of yourself through the day is a little bit hard work. You are grasping at straws. So sometimes, beloveds, one has to sit back and just go, whew, poppycock to it all. It's like watching the world go by. There's a song of John Lennon when he's saying to people, I've had enough. Please don't tell me what to do, or don't tell me that I'm useless and I shouldn't be doing it. I'm living my life. I think it's called Watching the Wheels. And where he's cocking a thumb up to people and saying, do not judge me, for I am in the right space for me at the right time. And this is where most of you are now. You see what you're capable of. You're understanding that you should be doing something better than you're doing now. But there's something within you which is saying, oh, hang fire, maybe it's not time, maybe it's not right. Most of you will listen to this. There are some of you that will stead out and push yourself more and maybe get what you think you're worthy of. But in time, beloveds, there's a time for everything. There is definitely a time for everything. Now, spiritual education comes in many stages. You have your infant school, your primary school, your junior school, and the senior, then your colleges, and then in England we have the universities. Excuse me, my throat is going. And that is why now things are starting to change. Just give me a second while I have a drink. Was not expecting this. Okay, I'm back. For in the spiritual education, you have holidays, you have terms, you have breaks where you go and play, you have leap years, well, you have gap years here in England where you go off and do something, you kind of put your education on the back rail for a moment. For those who have been at it, nose to the ground, tail in the air, wagging away there, looking for new information, more to digest it within themselves and then to pass it on to other people, we say to you, if you feel fed up, tired, a little bit cheesed off with the same energy, with the same people, then stop it. Do not keep banging your head against the wall. Do not keep giving your power away to other people who say you should be doing this or we think you should be doing that. What they should be saying, and we understand this, you should be saying that maybe you should, beloved, go within and find the answer. Every answer that you search, beloveds, comes from within you, the human dynamo that you may call your soul, which is connected with a vibration of light to the higher beings, to the energy, to over the veil, to across the sea. In other words, to the highness of what you may call God. This is what it's all about. Taking the time to rest. Taking your time to understand yourself, how you tick upon your earth plane. For you're no good to yourself to be burnt out. You're no good to other people to be burnt out. And what's more, beloveds, you are no good to your ascending masters, your guides, your aspirers, if you are melancholic in your attitude, if you are fed up, cheesed off. You get our drift. So this is what it's all about. Understanding you, and if you need to pull the plug on something, then do it. Oh, beloveds, he had no idea this was going to happen tonight. He was chuffed pink by turning his office round today, sitting in a different place, looking outside through the patio doors into the garden and into the park. So the light would hit him on his face rather than the side of his face. So he could do the videos, the light would, well, touch him better, I suppose. The light would be better for him. So this is what it's all about. Understanding you, who you are, where you're going, and if you need break, if you need a time out, holidays. As we mentioned before, and we went off on a tangent there, university, education, it comes in stages, and in those stages there are holidays. And maybe sometimes it's to take a holiday and really relax and be happy in who you are, instead of trying to push and push and push to find the next gem of wisdom, to digest it and then give it to other people. Sometimes one has to just be themselves in the now with nothing else going on. This is what I think. And maybe the council's kicked in there for a few moments, I do not know. It felt like them coming in, but unfortunately there were some noises, I think they're outside, and it kind of took my attention, so I hope they were there, and maybe you can tell me not later. But isn't it funny how you think you're doing something, you want to go down one avenue, and then something else comes and you're sidetracked down a different avenue. But beloveds, is there such thing as being sidetracked? Are you meant to go down that way? Is it written in your blueprint that you go from A to B as fast as you can? No, it's not written. It's written in this life, in your contract. You will come onto this earth, you will live an earthly life as a human being. But in that earthly life, you have a way of expressing your soul and the trueness of who you are. Remember, you came together as a family to help each other. And this is what we are hoping is happening with this broadcast tonight. Through the chaos at the beginning, coming late into the show, only 5 seconds late, he got onto Blogtalkradio with 5 seconds before the show started. Tipsy and turvy, this was him. But if we'd have told him, this is what we wish to talk about this evening, he'll probably have done a runner. So, this is what it's all about. Sitting down and understanding where you are now. Your future, as we've told, doesn't exist. It's just this moment that you're in now. And in this moment that you're in, and the same applies for us here across the veil, and him who we speak through now, if you can bring happiness and awareness of that moment that you're in, and contain it and continue the containing of the happiness within the heart for the next vibration, heartbeat, the next 10 seconds, next 1 minute and 2 hours and 1 day and 2 weeks and 1 month and a year, then beloveds, you are right. You are absolutely right. It's not, as somebody says in the chat room, beat about the bush. You are that burning bush, and sometimes, beloveds, you don't want to know this, but you get burnt out. Your energy goes, your zest for life filters and patters away. Some of you are on overtime. This is okay for you. But the ones who are in tune, who know life comes in circles and cycles. Life is a cycle, and sometimes this cycle says, rest, beloveds. Understand yourself, gain the information for yourself first and foremost, digest it, assimilate it, assess it, understand it, develop it, and then give it to other people once you're asked. And this is what's going on in some of your cities. People are giving energy when they do not know how to give it. They've only digested a little bit. It's giving the truth before you know it yourself. One should not give information out to the people that they do not know, unless it comes from a higher source and they adjust that channel. But sometimes that channel does know a little bit of what is being said. It's like the ego overlooks slightly, or the higher self or the lower self looks at the messages from a distance and decides, yes, those are good, or those are a bit iffy messages. The iffy ones do not come through. But what I'm trying to say to you, I'm not in channel now, is that one has to sit back and sometimes digest their life where they are at now at this time, and not be pushed into doing anything or saying anything or going anywhere that doesn't respond to the higher self. My radio shows, do I really want to continue doing the radio shows? Part of me, the higher self, wants to say, yes, I would love to inspire other people to go within. But sometimes, if I don't go within, how do I get my inspiration? Where do I fail or fall? Do I fall down and they say to me, you are supposed to practice what you preach? How can you be a worker for spirit if you do not understand the words we give you and the words you give other people? Tut tut, beloved. Maybe that's what they'll say. But before they say that, do we have the opportunity to go within ourselves and think, what best serves me? Is it a radio show? Is it a video? Is it a few radio shows a week? Or what happens to the radio hosts who listen to this? What best serves you? To give and to receive, that is the best. But sometimes we have to stop giving so we can receive it ourselves. My job, what I thought my job was years ago, was just to be a good medium, a good spiritual healer. For I used to see darkness in people's bodies when I used to look at them. I used to be able to see an X-ray vision of the body, and it used to scare people. And then upstairs said, this will be taken off you now, and we're going to give you different things that you can talk about. And through my life, I see different situations that have occurred to me. And even now, when my whole life and my whole heart and my whole soul wants to give the channeling to people. But am I ready for it? Am I ready for the next stage? Have I digested enough knowledge? Do I need another workshop, a seminar, a lecture? Me personally, no. Not that I've had a lot. The information that I've got within myself comes from me. That's all it comes from. So, beloveds, I hope today somehow rings true within you. I had no idea that this would go on. But saying that nobody has rang into the show, maybe my shows are not going to be ringing-inable. That's a good word, isn't it? Ringing-inable. Don't really know. But this is new for me. I'm actually putting this on video as I talk. I'm actually recording it now. So to listen to it and to watch where maybe the council come in, and maybe this is what my next stage is. But if you can offer me any light, then contact me. If you've got words of wisdom, if you're listening to yourself now and you think, I may be able to help him, maybe this is what it's all about. Maybe you have to dig deep within yourself. We're here to help everybody. Nobody is extinct from this. Nobody's got to pass out. We're here as a lighthouse for each and every one of us. Even the top sending masters apply to us sometimes to see the way we think, and we can say something to them and they will listen and say, yeah, probably I missed that, but thank you, Denis. Thank you, the chat room. So, 1 minute to go. In fact, I've just been corrected, 90 seconds to go. So, I do apologise for ranting and raving tonight. I do not know what's going to happen tomorrow night on Achieve Radio. That is total different energy. So this is just Blog Talk Radio. Maybe it's going to be a different tact with the council. Maybe it's saying, hey, I have just been told why they're doing this. Because we are all ascended masters, all of us. 60 seconds left. We're all ascended masters, and we all have to stand up and be counted and understand the trueness of ourselves and separate the wheat from the chaff. And this is what is happening. It is the rocket just going past the Earth atmosphere. The first stage has got to be got rid of. Disenchanted, what it's called. The first stage has got to go. And this is where we are going. We're all going through different stages of life. We're all across going to the moon. And we're jettisoning a few tanks, and we're jettisoning the things that got us to that stage that no longer hold us. Does it make sense? Hope so. So, I am Denis Barnes. You can find me at www.denisbarnes.com. I am a channeler for the Council of 12, and we've only got 10 seconds left. So with that, I'll say good night, God bless, and don't forget Achieve Radio tomorrow. Please come and join me on Achieve Radio for 1 hour. Good night, God bless. Love you all. Didn't expect that. Never mind.